Dude, I like how my baby's head's like popping up in this right corner over here of me. She's been locked in, dude. She is locked in on the drama. She knows Destiny is about to get exposed on this video that's been going viral. It is made by President Sunday. I don't know much about this guy. I've never seen anything he did, but it is a lot. There's a lot of things going on. I saw this blowing up on Twitter, people talking about it. I was like, yes, I have to be a part of it. Now, if you don't know who Destiny is, Destiny's a political streamer. I conflate him with like the Alex Jones or the Nick Fuentes of the left. Quite often do I put him in the same category as those guys. I think he's a far left content creator, just like Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones are kind of far right. Now, just because you have hard opinions on one political side of the aisle does not mean that I can't find you interesting. Now, I don't find Nick Fuentes even a little bit interesting, to be honest, but I do find Alex Jones to be pretty funny, and I found Destiny to have pretty funny takes from here every once in a while. Like the one he had this thing where he was like, it was like this drama where this girl was like talking about how a guy cuddled her but it could have got worse, and he was like, "You're good, you're fucking fine." I really like that clip. It was fucking awesome. I think Destiny can be really funny, but I do still see him as an extremist. That's what he is. Anybody who's like a Hassan fan, a Vosh fan, or a Destiny fan, you are kind of an extremist. It's like when you're so far in all these debate bros and that are sitting over on these far ends of the thing, they're just so fucking entrenched, locked in, just like my baby fucking right there. The cat just blocked her image, but just like the baby, you're locked into this world that you are entrenched into political stuff. I mean, you are locked. You're never gonna do anything else. No matter how hard Steven Crowder tries to pretend to be a comedian, he's always going to be a political guy. But let's get into this, dude. I am excited. I am very, very excited to see how this fucker gets exposed.
In this video, I'm going to tell you a story about a man. It's a story that has been replicated over and over and over in government, in show business, in business boardrooms, restaurant franchises. This time, it's about a man with a small social media empire on YouTube. A man who uses his clout and his fame to lure mentally and financially vulnerable women from his community into sexual encounters. Encounters which he records and then, without their consent, shares with others. It's about how that man developed such a stranglehold over his community that no one, no matter how disgusted they are, will dare call him out for this, even when it becomes public knowledge. And most importantly, this is a story about power, and of how normal human feelings can be contorted to serve a machine to make a man immune to the effects of the abuse he has inflicted on an astonishing number of people. Stephen Bennell II, or as he's known...
Jesus, dude. Jesus. That was like so long. I know it was only like a second, dude. But when it fucking focused in on the books, when it locked cocks with those books, dude, I was just sitting there just... I was waiting for something to happen. Waiting for something to just... Dude, I can't... The baby's so fucking funny, dude. The baby's so funny. Look at her just shaking her head and shit. Oh my god, I love my kid. Anyways, so I was just locked in on these books, just completely zoned in. I'm like, this is an eternity. I have officially been locked in for the rest of time on these books. I am there on the books, and then all of a sudden, Stephen Bennell II. Joseph Rogan.
Online, Destiny is a highly successful political streamer and content creator who has garnered infamy not just for public outbursts and controversial political positions, but also for an impressive number of public threats, sexual scandals, and even outright criminal actions. This recently culminated on November 29th of 2024, when an anonymous Discord and Kiwi Farms user going by the name Solo Leaks published a large repository of private messages and pornographic images and videos of Destiny with various men and women to Discord and Kiwi Farms, recordings that Destiny had shared to strangers without the consent of the people in them. It's important to note that this is not the first time that Destiny has been the subject of a large sexual scandal involving non-consensually leaked intimate material. All the way back in 2012, Destiny was caught up in a scandal involving a competitive StarCraft 2 player called Blue T, who had tweeted out a photo of his genitals. This was in retaliation for Destiny previously leaking nude images of her to his friends on Skype, wherein he laughed at how quote-unquote fucking hideous her face was compared to her quote-unquote beautiful body. In 2021, Destiny had a romantic entanglement with a YouTube streamer.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna be real quick. Leaking on either, like, the shit that happened to Destiny about the leaking was bad. Destiny leaking that shit on the other girl, bad. I do not think you should be leaking, like, videos and shit of famous people regardless. I don't care how much you think it's cool. I remember back in the days of the happening, it was like, dude, Jennifer Lawrence's tits. And I remember, like, just, like, yeah, dude, I was fucking, like, everybody was, like, jazzed about that shit in a certain way. But then, like, now looking back, you're like, fuck, dude, that's kind of fucked up. Because, like, you think about you in that position. I want you to think about you. And you're just, like, hanging out, and you're like, dude, I really like this person. I'm going to send a little. And then all of a sudden, that shit's all over the internet. Nobody wants that. This revenge porn shit is fucked. It's fucked, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Now, I'm going to give it a $1.20 there. I think it was cringe on both sides. Anytime that what happened to him and what he's done to these other people, supposedly, allegedly, it's just kind of cringe, and I'm not about that shit. Yeah, that was my input there. I wanted to make sure that it's known, at least to my community and my little world, that if you ever have, like, shit about somebody and you decide to, like, come to my Discord and you're like, hey, dude, check it out, dude, there's leaks, bro. There's fucking leaks, dude. You want to see it? No, I don't. I really don't. I don't care. I don't want to see this shit. It's like, I can fucking watch whatever porn I fucking want to watch by just looking it up on Google. I can just Google it real quick and goon to whatever the fuck I want to goon to. I don't want to just get unsolicited, like, famous people fucking dicks and clits, and I just don't want that. I don't think anybody wants that.
Named Anna Voir. Anna would go on to become known for insisting, often tearfully, that she was actually in a long-term romantic relationship with Destiny, which Destiny denied, painting her as crazy to his audience. It was later revealed that in fact, while Destiny was insisting to his audience that Anna was insane, he was actually sexting her the entire time, and referring to her with terms such as princess in their conversations. Anna threatened to post these sexually charged texts to prove that she wasn't crazy and that this was all actually taking place. And in retaliation, Destiny threatened in public to leak her nude photos if she did so.
Like, if you and I had, like, sexted or something, or traded nudes, and you were like, I'm gonna leak your nudes, and I go, fuck you, if you leak my nudes, I'm gonna leak your nudes. Is that, like, blackmail? Or is that, like, abusive? I disagree.
So do you think that leaking sexting and leaking nudes is proportional, or do you think it's a proportional response in the way that you're reacting to that?
I think it's about proportional. Because you're leaking, like, sexual material and shit from another person. Yeah, fuck it, I think it's proportional.
Destiny has also at least once admitted to accidentally sending homemade videos of him and his wife to people who his wife did not in advance approve of, in accordance with a previous agreement that he wouldn't.
Me and Melina had a conversation about, there were a few girls we talked to, it was like, oh cool, like we should record videos of, like, us fucking shit and send it to people, like, it's fun. I kind of, like, have, like, my little archive of, like, Coomer material that I'll send to people if I want to. There were girls that I talked to past that I'd send stuff of, like, either me or me and Melina, and Melina talked to me and she was like, hey, if you're gonna send any videos to new girls that we haven't talked about, like, let me know that first. Because she wanted to be careful. And so I was like, oh, okay, sure, that was fine. I didn't think about it at the time because I didn't think it mattered, but for the first thing, like, okay, yeah, I should have, like, checked 100% with Melina, but, like, this.
Other examples of threats and sexual misconduct made by Destiny are plentiful.
Bro, I love how the camera footage is progressively getting worse with these three. Now, yes, there's a lot of fucking goofy gooner shit going on right here. There's a lot of fucking goofy gooner shit. Like, here's the thing, bro. This is, like, I don't feel like, okay, the one girl, first girl that he was denying. Yeah, dude, that's fucked up. That's cringe. That's fucking awful. The shit with him and Melina and, like, his personal relationship shit, I really don't. It really doesn't fucking. It's just weird. It's always been weird. It's one of those things, like, I remember the Steven Crowder drama with him and his wife. Did I think it was fucked? Yes. Did I see it coming? Probably. I mean, that's like Destiny here. Does it surprise fucking anybody that somebody this aggressive, who it's this hard to have a normal conversation? Have you seen him do, like, collaborations with people he doesn't like? He just fucking is a dick. He's an asshole. Same thing with Steven Crowder. So you think that they're gonna be, like, fucking chill when somebody confronts them in their own house? Fuck no, dude. When his girl left him, I don't think anybody was fucking surprised. I don't think there's like one person out there who was like, oh, Destiny and his wife broke up. Oh, no way, I'm gonna be sick. They were the perfect couple. No, but he said that, dude. She was fucking plowing dudes behind him. He was fucking other chicks. It was a toxic relationship. Everybody knew this shit was gonna happen. I don't think I see. Here's the thing. I think I've always known that Destiny's a douchebag. At least like to a part, but it also kind of makes him like funny. Now, am I defending anything he's doing here? Absolutely not. He's a fucking douchebag. But it's like Sneeko. I can see Sneeko shit. No, Sneeko's a fucking piece of shit, and still enjoy the fact that I can clown on him. And that's how. So far, I haven't seen anything too egregious. Was he being an asshole? Absolutely. And is this fucking weird, like, leaking and porn shit, the shit bad? Absolutely. But is this, like, the fucking card that makes him the biggest monster yet? No, we haven't gotten there yet.
But the general point is this. Destiny has a very bad history when it comes to sharing...
Dude, and I thought my hair fucking looked like too much today, dude. My hair, right? Okay, my fucking... Bro, look at my fucking hair, dude. Look at my fucking hair. It's going fucking nuts right now, dude. It's going fucking nutsoid. My hair is fucking going fucking crazy right now. It's not agreeing with me. It's saying, fuck you, King Jiffy. I got, like... For some reason, it's flippy flopping. I don't know why it's being such a douchebag, but I somehow, in my ability to be so fucking goated, to be such a goated fucking king, I still have better hair than both of these fucking douchebags here. Like, look at this fucking scraggle raggle, never seen shampoo shit a fucking day in his life. Dude, Destiny, the further we get into, like, where we are now, Destiny's looking more and more meth the fuck out. He looks meth the fuck out. Now, am I saying he's on meth? No, I have no proof of that. I'm not gonna allege that the dude's just smoking tons and tons of meth with Hunter Biden behind a truck stop while, like, looking at, like, explicit photos of women and men. But I do think that he needs to take a shower, bro, and like maybe eat some food, because like, yeah, I know I'm a fat fuck, but damn, bro, it looks bad. And this guy just looks like he fucking took a bunch of super glue, stuck it in his hair, and then bashed his head against the wall for 15 minutes. How my shitty hair looks better than both of theirs right now is insane. That's like actual insanity, bro. We are in the fucking clown world when my hair's looking better.
Intimate material of people that he is sexually involved with without their consent, and of using the threat of their release to keep people in line. If this brings a certain Diddy to mind, you are not alone. Like with Diddy, when people speak out about Destiny's misconduct, the responses vary from silence to dismissal to outright threats of exposing their intimate information and media. Unlike with Diddy, these aren't just allegations, we have the receipts. In 2023, Destiny's wife Melina publicly separated from him. In response, Destiny went on stream and indicated multiple times that he was confident that Melina would not leak any unsavory details about the relationship to the public because he too had compromising information on her and logs that would seriously harm Melina's reputation if they were revealed.
Dude, let's just be real though, Melina is so fucking hot, dude. She is very, very fucking attractive. So the fact that Destiny ever fucked her to begin with, that's a W. That's a W. And they got married, so they had lots of sex. That's a W. The fact that he was letting her, like, fuck dudes while he was there, though, big L. Big L. Now, I don't care what you do in your own house, bro. That's fucking between you and whoever you're with, bro. That's your fucking thing. I don't care, dude. I don't care. I don't care if you have, like, a truckload of like, gooners pull up and just load into your house and you have giant orgies. It's fine. But, like... You're not going to keep a serious fucking relationship. Jesus Christ. Now I'm thinking about my hair. You're not going to have a serious fucking relationship and have that work if you're constantly gooning like these guys were.
Whereas, since his reputation around relationships was already so low, he would be effectively immune to the consequences.
Why do you think that she isn't going to leak or talk shit? Melina will not leak or talk shit about any of this because she knows that everything about this makes her look like a fucking satanic demon. She knows.
Dude, she knows that if she even thinks about it, if she even thinks about fucking leaking shit. I will go scorched earth on her ass. Did you see when I argued with John Tron? Did you see when I argue with Hassan? They don't want any of this smoke, dude. I have all the dirt on Melina. Dude, he comes out so unhinged, and it's fucking amazing.
That.
This is hilarious.
She's threatened it a million times. Like, I'm going to start leaking everything. Oh, yeah, let's go. Okay, if you really want to, holy f. Because my reputation is already 0 in regards to our relationship. Everybody thinks I'm a horrible piece of shit. We want to start leaking shit. We can do it.
Fast forward to November 2024. Due to the solo leaks, it has come to light that Destiny has been sharing intimate private messages, nude images, and pornographic videos with a 19-year-old OnlyFans creator called Rose, who he was sexually interested in at the time. Rose leaked these to a Discord and Kiwi Farms user called So.
Okay, here's the thing though. I don't. He could have just said OnlyFans user. I think there's something on the internet right now, and I've kind of noticed this where they're like 20-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old. It's like I think it's supposed to add to it. If they're past 18, I do not give a fuck. They are a consenting adult. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They can fucking send their fucking genital pictures back and forth. I do not care. It has no effect on me. The fact that they're only a fans person has no effect on the situation. And honestly, that's probably Destiny's type, considering he likes watching his bitch's backs get blown out.
Solo leaks, who may for all we know be Rose herself, who then published them to Discord and to Kiwi Farms. These leaks included intimate romantic and sexual DMs between Destiny and Lord Southern, who Destiny had long denied being romantically involved with while she became increasingly present in his public personal life and on stream, despite being publicly at odds with each other politically on the surface. Destiny even once described her activism as involving, quote-unquote, drowning refugees. These DMs revealed that, in fact, Destiny and Lawrence Southern had been—
Well, here's the thing, too. Here's something funny about Destiny and, like, a Lawrence Southern or, like, a conservative type or something. It's funny how you can end up with somebody that's, like, completely opposed to your positions. Completely opposite. That has, like, I have so many times throughout my life where I've been, like, completely on the other end of the spectrum from some chick, and then we have sex, and it's almost like we like, angrily have sex at first, not like mean, not like violent or anything, but it's like we're so annoyed with each other, but there's like a passion there because there's like this passion that's involved, and it is like when there's debates that lead up to these situations, it's like even me and my wife like completely oppose each other on certain viewpoints, but that's just kind of a part of it. You don't fucking like somebody because you don't get into a relationship with somebody because of their political opinions. I mean, those are discussions you can have, but it has nothing to do with attraction. And I always thought it was weird, like, can you believe this person's with this person? They're so different. Well, yeah, dude. If they were the fucking same, they'd get bored because they'd have nothing to talk about. There's no passion there, dude. It's boring.
Mutually declaring their love and admiration for each other, including expressing intentions to separate from their respective partners to marry each other. All of this was happening behind the scenes, despite Destiny publicly claiming to his audience that he and Lauren were not involved, and while he was publicly accusing his wife Melina of lying and of being controlling privately when she would express displeasure about the relationship and when she requested that Destiny stop associating with Southern. In addition to these leaks, which not only severely compromised Lawrence Southern's career and personal life, but also established that Destiny was lying when he accused his wife of being delusional and controlling about the affair, Solo Leaks also published a massive dump of revenge pornography, which featured various sexual encounters with numerous men and women that Destiny had recorded and sent to Rose as part of their flirtations, which incidentally include references to how he recorded other people not included in the dump, including a recording of a sexual encounter with someone he met on the gay dating app Grindr with no mention of having alerted this person to the fact that they were being recorded. Note, it is a felony to record sex acts without consent in the state of Florida. So to recap, Destiny, who has a long history of threatening associates, friends, and family with public humiliation and exposure through releasing revenge pornography and intimate messages, actually did leak a tremendous quantity of compromising, sexually humiliating messages, images, and videos featuring other people to at least one person without their consent. These were then publicly leaked, and the reaction has been total silence. Nothing. Historically, Destiny has always been boldly willing to threaten leaking private intimate material, such as during his separation from his wife, or to expose nude images to retaliate against women he was slandering, like Ana, or even just for the sheer pleasure of it, as in the case of Blue Tea mentioned earlier, where the only purpose was revenge. This time, however, somehow, there is nothing. Not by Destiny, nor by anybody else. No streams, no video.
Here's something I do think it needs to be talked about. This is something I think is really important, needs to be talked about. I don't understand why the commentary community fucking covers for Destiny so hard when they're willing to scorch earth everybody else. Now, I understand that it's your friend. Like in the case of Turkey Tom. You have people out there that it's like, oh, well, it's your friend, so I'm not going to say anything. But it's like Destiny can say shit and get away with more than just about anybody else can. They can clown on everybody else, but when Destiny's put in, it's almost like they're afraid of him for some reason. Like they're afraid that because Destiny has this ability to like debate bro people to death, that he can't be attacked. That he's free. He's free to fucking not be attacked by anybody. It's like fuck off, dude. Like, it's nice to see when somebody actually, like, goes against Destiny, because, like, Destiny can say a bunch of fucking mad cringe shit, and I don't understand why more people don't clown on him like they clown on, like, obviously conservative people clown on Destiny, obviously, and, like, you get the occasional guy that'll clown on him, but it's, like, the dude's constantly coming out there and just spurging the fuck out. The dude's, like, the king of spurging out on Twitter, and just, like, being an asshole. I mean, the fact that he was, like, celebrating that firefighter he had shot was super cringe and deserved more spotlight than it did, and it gets like a short comment from one of these commentary guys. Why aren't you scorching them like you would scorch somebody else for saying shit like that? If it was Hassan Piker saying this shit, you guys would be there next day crapping on Hassan, but Destiny just has this shield around him. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. If Nick Fuentes comes out and says some horrible shit, there's gonna be 8,000 videos on Nick Fuentes. But if Destiny says something, it's quiet. It's fucking crickets. It's annoying and cringe, bro. It's some gay shit, and I don't like it. I think he should be held to the same standard, and I don't know what it is about him. Maybe it's because he can be entertaining or whatever. I don't know, but you do hear a lot of crickets. He is 100% there. And like I again from the beginning will stand by the fact that I think it was wrong when they leaked all this shit about Destiny, but he was also doing it, which is bad in its own right. So I think there's a lot of bad hands at work, and I think that the way Destiny is just such an aggressive person makes all of this make sense to me. This all makes sense. I never saw Destiny as the type of guy that'll let shit just roll off of his brow, and I think that's maybe why so many people are scared to say anything about him, is because they know he holds a fucking grudge.
Exposés, no tweets by any notable figures denouncing what is an obvious massive breach in ethics and consent. Nothing. Which begs the question, why?
Bro's got to get rid of these long pauses, bro.
Why is everyone being so silent about something that by all rights should be a massive sex and abuse scandal about one of online politics' biggest and most controversial figures? As I said at the beginning of this video, this is not just a story about a man, but about power and how power works. And it's not a story that is new. At the center of this scandal is a concerted effort by Destiny's friends, associates, and community to conceal and hide his wrongdoings.
Bro's just fucking built goofy as fuck, too. Can we just talk about that for a second? Bro's built like... He looks like Ricky Berwick, but Ricky Berwick is like actually like crippled, you know? Like Ricky Berwick has a reason to look like the way he does. What the fuck is wrong with Destiny? Destiny's just built fucking weird. Like, this guy's got a weird build, right? Obviously, everybody knows. Me and him are built pretty similarly, way too overweight. Destiny just looks like he looks like a child trying to draw a human. It's weird as fuck. He's like a 90-year-old man, bro.
Any and all means. This includes deleting any mentions of the leaks on Discord and Reddit, obfuscating...
Like, god damn it, he's weird fucking looking. Like, his face isn't that weird looking, but he's got this massive head on this fucking LARPy-ass body, bro.
The issue by acting as if the leaks only contain private sexual behaviors and therefore aren't anyone else's business, or even offering money to the victims in exchange for their silence. Now, if one were to say that the creators around Destiny were simply remaining silent about this scandal in order to continue to capitalize on their friendship with Destiny and have access to his audience, this would be a misleading oversimplification. Some people are doing that for sure, and some people in fact are even going out of their way to run interference to protect Destiny from the consequences of his actions. But this is not a story about the nefarious deeds of evil men and women, but about power. And it turns out that in fact a lot of people are simply afraid. Afraid of what they have a moral right or a public sanction to say given the sensitive nature of these leaks, and afraid of the retribution of Destiny and those in his audience if they say something that angers him. A very large creator in YouTube commentary called Nicholas DeOrio.
Fucking Nicholas DeOrio. He's one of my favorite commentary guys. Like, he doesn't always hit, but he's kind of funny.
Disgusted at the obvious sexual abuse and public coercion he was witnessing coming from Destiny and his defenders, and frustrated by the fact that people were beginning to lump him in with the others who were actively covering for Destiny, reached out to me directly to clarify why he was not being more vocal.
Look at that fucking Nicholas DeOrio fucking round build, way blown out. Like, I talk about how my lights are blown out, right? Like, how my face looks always so blown out because I have terrible lighting. Nicholas DeOrio looks like he put a fucking, he went to Harbor Freight, bro. He went to Harbor Freight, got the biggest spotlight possible, and just, like, socked that thing into his face, bro. He is so blown out right now. He's more blown out than Destiny, and Destiny's got leaked footage of him blowing. You know what I mean? It's just so bad, dude. Ah, dude, but I actually the best person out of all these people, right? All these people on fucking screen. What hand is? Yeah, there. All these fucking people right over there, dude. All of them. The best one is definitely Willie Mack. I really like Willie Mack. I think he makes the best content. Turkey Tom is the funniest. I don't know who that is, to be honest. But Nicholas DeOrio, I think, is like the perfect in between of these two.
Vocal. He told me that, due to the sensitive nature of the material, despite being very confident about Destiny's guilt, he was very conflicted about coming forward against Destiny on behalf of the victims in this story without them voluntarily coming forward first. This was for two reasons. First, Destiny has a history of persuading his victims to come to his defense during a scandal. This happened once when a creator called Mr. Girl infamously attempted to accuse Destiny of lying about his relationship with Anna Voir, and in response, Destiny produced recent DMs between himself and Anna in which he got her to say that her own quoted claims against Destiny were false. And here it is notable that the fact that these DMs were between the alleged abuser and his victim did not seem to affect their credibility in the eyes of his audience. And second, because of Destiny's ability to use his hold over his massive audience to deal serious reputational and financial damage to people who he feels have slighted him. Nicholas refers.
Here's the thing. What is he gonna fucking do to me? What is he gonna do to me? Destiny, you have a fucking LARPy ass body. You're kind of really cringe. You're kind of an asshole. And it seems like you manipulate a lot of women. You got some like Review Tech USA energy when it comes to women, bro. What are you gonna do? Come and attack my fucking massive audience. My audience is like super big, so I have no chance of getting fucking taken down by you, bro. I have no fucking opportunities to get destroyed by you because I have nothing right now. Actually, my audience isn't massive. I have 0 people in this live stream right now, so come at me, motherfucker. I would love it. But no, he does it. He gets away with so much, bro. It's so fucking cringe. And here's the thing, I don't understand why anybody would be afraid. Like, here's, if you had somebody like Hassan that has a massive audience, but you know he's cringe and it's easy to hate on him, boom, they make a video right away. Destiny, for some reason, again, gets these weird fucking passes, and it does not make sense, dude. And like, and I think it's so weird considering I put Destiny in the same type of category as Sneeko, Nick Fuentes, and fucking Alex Jones. They're all the same, bro. They're all fucking way out there, way wild, and that's what makes them entertaining. But it also kind of makes them like kind of assholes. I don't know about Alex Jones being as bad of an asshole. I haven't heard like a bunch of like, oh, Alex Jones. I've heard he was an alcoholic. Maybe you let me know. Let me know how bad much like. Well, he did say the thing about the Sandy Hook stuff, but like I mean like asshole to people around him. But like, I feel like Joe Rogan's friends with him, so he can't be too horrible. But I don't know much about Joe Rogan and his friends, I guess. But I don't know. Destiny and Steven Crowder, I think mirror each other a lot. And I do find Steven Crowder funny, just like I can find Destiny funny. But there was nothing surprising about how he treated his wife. Like his aggression comes out through his commentary, and same with fucking Destiny over here. Just look at the way he talks to people he already like deals with. Like every single conversation that Destiny has in like a debate situation, he is an overly aggressive asshole. So you think he's gonna get in an argument with his significant other and not be an overly aggressive asshole? Absolutely fucking not, dude. And then when you look at Steven Crowder always would play like the I'm better than you. I'm better than you, huh? I wonder if, are you sure? Really convince me. I actually have right here where you're wrong. And he did that exact same thing while he sat and smoked a cigar with his wife, who was fucking pregnant with, like, twins. And he was like, when are you gonna pick up the dog shit? You know, I work all day. You know, it's the same type of cringe energy. So to see him this aggressive, like on his points now, and then just imagine having a falling out with him. He's going to be that aggressive then. And to think that it's not realistic to have this is just weird.
Explicitly here to the reputational damage Destiny inflicted on another commentary YouTuber called ChudLogic when he was approached by Destiny's now ex-wife Melina to give her side of the story about the Lauren Southern affair.
So, I mean, I've privately told everybody I'm completely distancing myself from this guy, waiting for this bomb to go off. But I don't want to be the one to fucking light it. But, I mean, I feel stupid. I sent Destiny, like, a message of support at the beginning of this.
Really?
Like, it's about his dick getting
man.
leaked, not about this part of it. Like, oh, it's a shame that your fucking dick got leaked or whatever, which I guess is still valid.
I didn't
but,
realize how bad it was initially. I thought the big thing was the Lauren Southern leaks. I thought, oh, he's got sex tapes. Okay. Surprise, surprise.
Well, in the back of my head, I was thinking, why would all these people consent to their fucking nudes being exchanged?
Well, the answer
Why
is they
would that
wouldn't.
even happen? They would absolutely not. They absolutely wouldn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, and
This is kind of a pussy ass thing from Nicholas Diorio too, that he wasn't gonna light the match when he would have lit the match for anybody else. He would have lit the match in seconds for anyone else. But Destiny is like he's like the protected guy in commentary. And what's really crazy too is like it took ChudLogic was one of them to come out, and it's like ChudLogic is the type of guy who just like gets fucking overly hooked on people. So my problem with ChudLogic is I can't always believe what he's saying, because he likes to witch hunt people really hard. And when you're the type of person who witch hunts people, I can't take you seriously because of the fact that I don't know how much of this information you're just looking for to prove yourself right. Because ChudLogic tends to come off a lot of times as the guy that needs to prove himself right. Now, is he right from time to time and like quite a bit? Sure, he can. And I think he does bring some good commentary to the table. But his problem is when you're a witch hunt type of guy, you're going to get exactly what you're looking for, because that's what you're searching for.
I haven't really been able to talk about this with anybody because I'm at like a fucking, it's a huge risk to even discuss it because this guy's got such a chokehold over his community. But I legitimately think if it ever comes up, I absolutely think that's career ending, and I don't think that could be defended. And if it can be defended by his community, it would fucking completely destroy. I mean, yeah, his reputation's in the toilet. It could be lower.
It could be. It's also it's in the toilet with people who care to know.
Yeah, no, I think this is a viral everyone's story, video, like community-wide story. If this cover-up ever comes out,
What specifically would have to happen to trigger some kind of, determinate position on this in public for you?
I mean, I'll be super candid about it. You would need to talk.
Yeah, would you have to talk publicly, or do you just have to see it?
No, I think I've already seen it. I think she needs to talk publicly because if anything, if it comes down to it and Destiny convinces her privately to take that other... Look what happened with ChudLogic and Lauren Southern. He had Melina coming to him and telling him these things directly. And he was put in a position where he can either eat shit and be hated by that community and lose a huge percentage of his audience to the point where I had to pick up the other half of the slack and like help him out, right, to keep him afloat. Or he could just leak those messages and be justified immediately, and it would start like a huge conflict. And I guess he did the right thing by loyalty, but like, you know what I mean? It's like, if you don't have the person, then it's you fighting on behalf of somebody else. And I've seen this go down so many times with content creators where if they don't have the support of the actual victim in the situation,
Right.
you're fighting a losing battle from day one.
That is true. Because if you're just out here spewing shit and said, I got it from reliable sources or whatever, there's nothing that you can say that can't be taken. You have to take everything they say with a grain of salt. There's a lot of people in the gaming, like, news world that'll do it. Well, I heard it from reliable sources that the next Fallout 5 is going to be the biggest Fallout of all time, and they're bringing back original gun models or something, and you're like, well, what are the sources? Well, they can't be named because they lose their jobs or whatever. It's just like, I heard it from my cousin who works at Microsoft type bullshit. And when you go in with that, you take a big risk of being the guy that said something that wasn't true, and you can lose a lot of credibility, especially in the commentary community, where your credibility is what keeps you afloat. That is your bread and butter, is being the guy that knows the shit. See, I'm just a fucking asshole who yells at shit on the internet and plays video games. So when I do this shit, it's just like, I can be wrong because I'm not basing everything on me being right. I'm not here to be the fucking arbiter of morality and the arbiter of justice like a lot of these commentary guys are. It's when you get into these trenches that can be the most dangerous, and I feel like losing your entire platform would be very scary over literally somebody who's protected like by the entirety of the royal guard, you know, if you're kind of getting what I'm saying.
So principally your concern is that you're going to take a pretty big financial / audience hit if you were to do
Well,
this.
I think there's a genuine risk that I'm going to get left out to dry here, because if she doesn't say anything, or even worse, if she comes out and says it's not true, then I'm fucked.
A lot of people who would otherwise potentially be ready to support the victims of Destiny's systemic abuse of female and male colleagues are stuck between wanting to call foul on some truly reprehensible behavior and the realization that if they did, there are so many ways to spin them as the villains through Destiny's further manipulation of the victims and of his massive following. Two particularly aggressive defense.
It's not just his massive following, it's also the way that Destiny has the ability to make everything sound like he is right. Destiny is an incredible debater. Destiny is one of the best out there, but Destiny's problem is he will browbeat you to the ground to make himself look right. And when you have somebody like that, it'll leave you kind of, he doesn't even give you like the chance to breathe, to think about what you're going to say. He will rattle shit off until you're into the fucking dirt. So there's no sense in actually debating this stuff with Destiny. There's no, like, it's stupid to try. You try to go in with somebody like Destiny or Sneeko or any of these fucking assholes, you are going to be beaten to the fucking ground because that's what they do. They are there for blood. And Destiny is more vicious than most of them. He's a very vicious debater. So there's really no sense in trying to argue against him in this shit. And on top of that, if you come in without like the support of somebody who's been through like manipulation by Destiny, he's just going to make it even worse for you. He is vicious when it comes to debating. So it's not just his audience, it's not just credibility, it's also because you would then have to deal with the wrath of Destiny, and this dude's a petty fuck.
Defenders of Destiny have been Not So Erudite and Dan Saltman, who are both colleagues and close members of his inner circle. Both have gone out of their way either to dissuade attempts to bring up the issue of Destiny's non-consensual sharing of intimate material of other people publicly, or to directly discourage his victims from speaking out or taking legal action. A major consequence of Destiny's silence and the silence of the people around him on this issue is that all of the negative consequences for these leaks have been borne by the victims, who are still being publicly shamed and harassed as I speak. However, faux concern for their well-being and their wishes to remain as anonymous and private as possible has been used to shut down any discussion where Destiny might be held responsible for endangering them in the first place. The perverse result is that Destiny's crimes against these people are effectively being weaponized as their own defense against others who would call him out for them. For example, when one community member known as Fairy Queen questioned Not So Erudite's continued association with Destiny, given the revelation that he had been sharing porn of people he streams with without their consent, and given Not So Erudite's own avowals of being a mental health expert and a feminist, Not So Erudite claimed that she was in communication with the victims behind the scenes and that they didn't want any additional attention. And so therefore, Not So Erudite was actually doing the moral thing by not holding Destiny accountable for victimizing them in the first place and for personally continuing to profit from the reputation of Destiny by whom she was employed. When pressed on this, Not So Erudite promptly terminated the conversation.
See, here's the thing too, is where they hide, where people, this is what's something that bothers me about people on the left too, where they hide behind the fact that, oh, well, I'm a feminist, and because, and then they do some mental gymnastics to make it almost like they're supporting feminists by hiding this shit. They use these buzzwords and these social causes to stand in the way of them doing actually fucked up shit, because they now have these blanket statements they can put in front of themselves. Well, see, I stand against racism, so I reached out to the victims, and they didn't want to be a part of how Destiny says the N-word can hurt them. Like, it's weird, you know, it's like these weird fucking jumps to make this shit make sense. And to me, it's like, oh, they virtue signaled themselves out of getting in trouble. They've used the same arguments for so many other things to get them away from accountability, that then they realize they can use it for more serious shit. And that's my problem with virtue signaling. Is the biggest thing that virtue signaling does is just you're now sitting there and you don't actually have to fight on any merit of the actual argument. You can just throw some shit in, like, oh, you only want to see more of this because you're not actually feminist. It's like you are not a feminist. Like, look at that. You can then call them racist, call them misogynistic. You can then utilize the thing that they're scared of being because they're trying to be progressive to a fucking fault, that they're too scared to say anything back. It's weaponization. All this is bullying with utilizing fucking progressive talking points and movements.
It turns out that Not So Erudite was telling the truth when she said she was communicating on behalf of the victims, because as it turns out, she was from very early on the primary middleman negotiating the price of their silence. Enter Pxie. Pxie is a tiny streamer who, like Destiny's wife Melina, was visually identifiable in the leaks. Pxie had been working closely with Destiny since she turned 20 years old in 2019, and in addition to appearing on stream together regularly, Destiny also got her involved in paid positions organizing for canvassing projects, like with Progressive Victory, who he partnered with in 2024, and she would accompany him multiple times to large podcast appearances such as the Whatever podcast, which he would pay for her to be flown out to. Pxie had, for a very long time, repeatedly tried to present herself as an example of a woman who could succeed as a part of Destiny's orbit, without being a member of his oft-rumored harem of women who offer him sexual favors in exchange for exposure and stream time. In light of these leaks, that image has obviously been shattered, and she has received the brunt of negative reactions to the scandal, since people who hate Destiny and hate the politics of the people in his group are eager to laugh at the hypocrisy of one of them, even if it means joining in the mass harassment of someone who is in fact a victim of revenge porn. Unfortunately, Pxie did the worst thing that someone in her position could do. Rather than seek legal recourse or make a public statement denouncing the violation of her consent and dignity that these leaks represented, she seems to have ultimately chosen to try and profit from the situation by extorting Destiny. An American citizen who finds themselves a victim of revenge pornography has several valid actions they can take. Let's go over 3. First, they can seek legal recourse. In fact, there is a federal law on the books as of 2022 that allows victims of non-consensual exchanging of explicit material to be compensated up to $150,000, and that's even if the leaks were not necessarily done maliciously, but only with reckless disregard for the consent of the victims. The victims may even have their identity concealed. Second, they may make a public statement denouncing the person who leaked the materials and violated their consent. And in fact, this can be done in conjunction with the first option I mentioned. And finally, they can choose to do nothing. They can stay silent and hope that it all blows over. And this is their right. But Pxie did not do any of these.
Yeah, she took option 4, so technically you're wrong, bro. Those aren't the only 3 options. She chose another option. You were wrong. You were wrong. This is a big L for video. Whole video, all your pauses on the books don't mean anything because there's 4 options. Pxie proved that.
In an exchange that I have learned has since been circulated among the entire commentary community on YouTube and virtually everyone in Destiny's circle, Not So Erudite can be seen haggling with Pxie over the amount of money that would be appropriate for Destiny to pay her to not involve the court system or to denounce him publicly. First, Pxie uses the implicit threat of her impending suicide and a scheduled note announcing it to pressure Destiny to pay out a significant sum of money, and then later switches to vague threats of public denunciations and legal action. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, her friend Straightraid was colluding to advise Destiny to offer to help her financially as penance to stave off her threats of self-harm, a situation that would obviously be a reputational disaster for Destiny. Note, Straightraid has also explicitly said that she did not consider the situation serious enough to warrant a wellness check. As revealed in earlier DMs between Pxie and Destiny prior to this conversation with Not So Erudite, Pxie and her friend Straightraid had used the specter of her impending suicide to alarm Destiny enough that he would be receptive to suggestions of financial compensation. Apparently, Pxie was hopeful from the beginning that she could get as much as a $1 million payout from Destiny, which Straightraid had to repeatedly talk.
Jesus, there's no... Like, she should have just taken his ass to court and then, like, plummet. Well, she thought this as a payday. Is she okay? What's up, little girl? I got her. No, don't worry about it. I got it. You do your thing. I want to be helpful. gobbledygook machine. My sweet baby. My sweet baby. You gonna come sit over my dad? You can't hear any of it anyway, so. Basically, if you ever meet like a cringe leftist who is like constantly online, don't talk to them. All right, here we go.
Talk her down from. The condition of this financial compensation is, of course, Pxie's continued silence. This would seem to imply that Pxie's decision to not go public is not because she is afraid of the repercussions, or else she wouldn't be threatening Destiny directly with legal action or public denunciations, but because she wants to profit personally off of extorting Destiny, who also, it must be remembered, is a victim of revenge porn. Destiny may be the one responsible for the leaker having the images in the first place, but he shared them recklessly, not maliciously. And of course, he has endured public humiliation as well for this. Destiny's close friend and podcast co-host Dan Saltman, the CEO of Redact, had also reportedly gone behind Destiny's back to advise Pxie to make financial demands of Destiny, as well as to ask her to dissuade Destiny from taking legal action against Kiwi Farms for hosting the leaks. Pxie has since said nothing publicly. There has been no evidence of legal proceedings being pursued, and she has seemingly ceased communications with the people she was previously working with, instead posting on X about taking the L.
Dude, see, this is what's kind of funny is like, once you start, see, this makes her look so bad too, because she's using it to like blackmail him. You know, she's trying to utilize to leverage her position to like, I could sue you, this could be an impact on you, kind of like threatening that cancellation shit, which they're all fucking for, you know. But I don't know if Destiny's fully for cancelization. I don't know what the fuck. I don't really know his stances. I've just seen funny clips. But here's the thing, when you're over here, like, I can like bomb your career and I can do this, so you better pay me hush money. The hush money thing always fucking, I hate it, because it's like, why not just fucking show what type of person this guy is, right? Why not just show what you are acting like, get the shit out there, or just take legal action and then have it not be a public deal and get your money, and then have a separation. It's pretty simple, you know. I don't understand why it's so complicated. This shit just turns into way more of a bombshell because of all this behind the scenes shit.
Sad in pursuit of law school.
What?
It appears as though her attempt to extort Destiny has probably paid off, albeit at the expense of every other person Destiny has victimized in the past and will victimize in the future. And so we can see the circuit completing itself. Destiny seeks out vulnerable women in his community who are enamored by his fame and success. He engages them intimately and records the interactions. Then he hoards these recordings and he shares them with reckless abandon, even occasionally threatening their release if the people in them do something to displease him. And when finally, the obvious result of recklessly sharing these intimate images with strangers occurs and they are publicly exposed for all to see to the detriment of these people's reputations, mental health, and safety, he is able to buy off his victims and use their purchased silence as moral ammunition to shut down anyone who would try to hold him accountable for what is clearly grossly unethical conduct. Destiny, and the web he has created around himself, is creating victims, and if it is allowed to continue, it will create more. I urge everyone to pay attention and to warn people about the danger they are putting themselves into by engaging with Destiny and his community. These are people who have been handpicked for their willingness to not just remain passive in the wake of intimate and potentially life-ruining abuse, but to also become accomplices in silencing the victims. And the victims are also selected, either for mental illness, allowing them to be easily construed as hysterical or deceptive when they complain about their treatment, or for financial vulnerability, allowing them to be easily paid off by Destiny for their silence. Thanks to certain individuals revealing to me the extent to which people are knowingly allowing or even actively taking part in the system of abuse and cover-up, I have realized that by withholding what I know of the situation, I am playing directly into Destiny's game. Someone needs to break the chain, or people are going to continue to be hurt.
I mean, that's true. Somebody's got to say something. And, like, when you have all this drama pop off, and this is something I thought was funny, like, after leaks happened, it was just kind of like, don't talk about it. It was kind of like how I saw a bunch of people cover for Steven Crowder, like, we shouldn't talk about it because it's their personal life. We don't know all the details. I'm like, yeah, dude, but I do know that I've never talked to my wife that way. You know, that I've never fucking, like, been an asshole. When my wife was pregnant, dude, I was doing my best to just be there and do what I could to help her out, you know? Yeah, there was, like, probably times where I was a little more annoying, but, like, it was never annoying in the fact that I was like, why aren't you fucking doing this better and shit? Like, why do you suck so bad? No, dude, I would go to work, I would get I'd get some food, I'd come home, and we just fucking vibed, dude. I mean, she probably was more annoyed with me than other times because she was pregnant or whatever, but at the end of the day, dude, I never fucking just like belittled her and like threatened to take the vehicle from her where she couldn't use it. I'm like, she's like, oh, dude, I need the car today. I'm like, okay, just drop me off at work because I gotta go to work. And then she'd be like, okay, and she'd do whatever she fucking had to do. It wasn't, I didn't ever fucking sit here and try to make it harder for her, you know? So and then when I see like shit like, oh, I had a bunch of, like, I fucking leaked a bunch of fucking, I sent a bunch of nudes of me and my wife having sex to everybody without her consent. That'd be fucking, I haven't done that. So why the fuck, like, how do you defend that? It's like, oh, well, it's not your relationship, so you shouldn't talk on it. It's like, yeah, but dude, that's still kind of fucked. You still can, like, you can still have the opinion that that's fucked. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know. I do like that this guy had the balls to put this video out there, and somebody fucking said, yeah, dude, you're cringe, you deserve to be blasted a little bit, and this was a little bit of a blasting. More than he got from in his mouth from all those times that he was going down, you know. But yeah, that's the Destiny drama, dude.